It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we'll have a rematch of Super Bowl 38. It's the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. Coming up next.
You're getting a look at the most famous building in Foxborough. Opened in 2002, it's Gillette Stadium. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scott, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as the default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Ready to get this game started. Here's John Parker Romo. And we're off and running from Gillette. Raheem Blackshear now to return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. So now out comes the Panther offense for its initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the first player picked in the 2023 NFL Draft from Alabama. It's Bryce Young.
Watching Bryce Young at Alabama, he just made the game look so easy. One of those rare prospects where everything just feels like it's in slow motion and he's in total control. Well, fast forward to the NFL, and he took a beating early in his career. Everything must have felt like a blur. But there's no denying the promise he has as a quarterback, that high upside that made him the #1 pick overall.
Straight to the air here, it's Young. Thielen's got it, complete. Good little rip there, looks like about 6. Marcus Jones ranging over for the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
On the ground, Chuba Hubbard gets it. He'll cobble together a yard there. Tracked down by Robert Spillane. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
3rd down run by Hubbard. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
Carolina in punt formation. Marcus Jones back to return for the Patriots. And now he's going to call for the fair catch and take it just beyond the 30. So now it's the Patriots' turn to head out for the first time on offense. Leading them out, someone with a big arm and a field general's mindset, Drake May.
Drake entered the league as a top 5 pick because he checks a lot of boxes. Just the way you want him. Tall, athletic, great arm. 1 year at North Carolina, put on an absolute show. And yeah, his 2nd year as a starter took a little bit of a beating and some question whether or not he was still a top 5 pick. The ability, there's no question there. It is now the consistency in taking care of the football that will be a big part of Drake's career.
Now for the first time, it's a give to the rookie from Ohio State. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Back to the well again. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Back-to-back carries here. And he takes it across midfield and into Panthers territory. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
From the 48. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
1st and 10 from the 41. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Trayvon Merrick there for the stop. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
This is a guy who, man, when he is in a groove, when he is feeling it, you're just not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. You better buckle up. You need a textbook tackle on this guy. Wrap, grab some cloth, and drive him to the ground with all you got.
Now the first carry of the game for Ramondre Stevenson. On the move into the red zone. And he's finally hauled down at the 12. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And that's a New England 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
Hands it to the receiver here in motion. Oh, look at this sweep. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
You know, when receivers have room to operate, that's a play that can totally gash a defense. But, Kate, when you get down here in the red zone, it becomes so much tougher because you have a whole lot less space. And, in fact, you'll see defenses swarm like that one just did.
Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4.
You know you love some of my buzzwords, Kate. I know you do. And this one was about willpower. He got the rock a long way from the chains and put his teammates on his back for a heck of a run and a great try at that 1st down.
3rd and just 2 to go. Here's May. Escapes the sack. And he sails that one over the end zone.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one, Kate. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back on track.
Field goal attempt coming up from John Parker Romo. A pretty automatic look for him from the left. The kick by Roddy's good. And they're on the board.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Here's Romo to handle the kickoff. On the return, here's Rico Dowdle. He stopped on the return at the 27. So following the return, looks like somebody's shaken up. Trainers out to determine how severe this may be. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Young working from the gun. Completed over the middle. He's corralled after a modest 4-yard gain. Tracked down by Robert Spillane.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Out of the gun, Young. Short pass brought in. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Shotgun snap now to Young. And someone stepped in. It's intercepted. That is Marcus Jones. And the Patriots get the football on the first turnover of the contest.
So many throws in the league attack this area of the field. They love to attack the slot. And for these defenders who have to play that area, it takes great reaction. It takes tremendous intuition. And then just a spatial awareness of understanding where you are amidst that space to go take the ball away. That is well done.
The Patriots offense headed out for their 2nd drive of the game. And they're set up well inside of enemy territory, and they've got a short field after that pick. Markers reset, ball at the 37. It's an option right that begins this drive. And he runs this one down across the 35 and inside the 30. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
The difference right there, Kate, between that gain and a big hit for a loss, some really quick decision-making. He made a quick read, saw the running back was going to get hit if he handed it, and he pulls it himself for a positive gain.
Handoff on 2nd and short. And he has it down officially to the red zone at the 20. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Patriots will have a 1st down.
Hey, these are the type of gains he's counted on to get when they're available. Unfortunately, we had tremendous vision to see the seam and get through it before that window could close.
1st down throw for May. Brought in by Hooper. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them in a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And he pushed for it, but they managed to stop him at the 2. Just 1 yard on the run. Still in good shape, though, with 2nd and goal from the 2.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Only a solitary field goal so far as we're through 1 quarter. Just a field goal separates these two. More from Gillette Stadium in just a minute. All right, time to get this 2nd quarter going. The Patriots set up inside the red zone. They'll hand it to him again. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Only a yard that time. A defensive stand brewing here, and it brings up 3rd and goal.
Well, you get a little bit closer, but you can feel the pressure starting to mount. Unless you're committed to playing 4 downs here, this becomes a critical 3rd down call.
Here's May, 3rd and goal. And they will score. It's a New England touchdown. The Patriots parlay the interception into points. If you're going to complete that one successfully, Brock, you need the perfect throw, just the right touch, and you also need a guy who can go up and get it just like that.
Yeah, need to be able to muscle somebody off the ball if you're not alone. And call me a little biased. Go ahead. I don't care.
You're biased.
But the success of that play does come down to the timing of the throw, Kate. If you don't throw it on time to that exact spot, you run out of room, and you don't give yourself that kind of chance.
John Parker Romo out to try the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Patriots make it a 10-point ball game. Here's Romo to handle the kickoff. Blackshear on the return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Carolina about set to go once again offensively. They now trail by double digits after that last score, Brock. It's 10-0 partway through here. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. This drive will begin with Hubbard. And his effort results in maybe 2 yards, but nothing more.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. From the pistol, it's Young. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
Escapes out to the left. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
You just feel this defense starting to come alive, don't you, Kate? Got their first turnover last time out. Now they put their first sack on the board. In big plays on that side of the ball, well, they can come in bunches. Defense sure hopes to keep this faucet going, and the offense wants to turn the spigot off immediately.
Panthers getting everyone set for the punt. And the fair catch is made just about a yard or two short of midfield. The Patriots returning their offense and this running back to the field. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. Good field position for the Patriots as they get set for 1st and 10. Man in motion here. Going play action, May. Pass taken in by Diggs. Give him 32 on that play. And that's a New England 1st down.
Just excellent effort on that catch. And a lightning quick transition from bringing that football in to getting vertical. He was not content for a second to end that play where he caught it. Any catch he makes, his intent is to put some serious yards on top of it.
Thinking touchdown here after that big play. We've got 1st and 10 from the red zone. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Operating from the gun, here's May. Finds his man. It's Demario Douglas. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Kate, one thing I learned from the late, great Mike Leach is, yeah, the system was called air raid, but it wasn't just attacking downfield. His philosophy, and it played out right there, is you have to attack every inch of the field, both vertically and horizontally, with out routes or in routes just like that.
And that's knocked away. The linebacker got him in the middle of the field, incomplete.
That's just simply great positioning to swat the ball away. He stayed in a spot where he could disrupt the throw before the target could make a play on it.
Field goal attempts coming up from John Parker Romo. This is going to be a 31-yarder from the right hash. The kick by Roddy's good. And that one was beautifully struck. It goes right down the middle.
Okay, one of the areas that kickers and quarterbacks are similar, they want to get into rhythm, and no better way to feel good and get into that rhythm than start a game 2 for 2 as a kicker.
Here's Romo to handle the kickoff. Blackshear on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Carolina offense headed out now. They trail 13-0 here as they go in search of their opening score. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here's Young to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
These defenders, they can just feel it. You're up a couple scores in the game, and you know what the other side is starting to do. They're starting to press, and you're going to start to see a little bit more pass. And that's when these defenders pin their ears back, they get home, and they create havoc in a sack, just like that.
All right, here we go, 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. Finds him over the middle. And it's a nice game, but still not enough for the first.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
On 3rd down, it's Young. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that, actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
1st and 10, it's Hubbard. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there, tracked down by Robert Spillane.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
2nd and 6 coming up here. They run again with Hubbard. And they'll bring him down after a pretty short gain. Give him 3 yards. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Throwing now, 3rd and 2. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. running with Hubbard out of the gun. Gets it ahead, has about 5 yards. Jabril Peppers bringing that one to an end. First down play nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Now Young. Pulled in by Tommy Tremble. And he has them a first down, which they will tackle on the other side of this 2-minute warning. From the red zone now. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Targets have far less room to work in this red zone, Brock, but down this close as a former quarterback, I'm just going to assume you got to feel like he should have been able to hold on through whatever.
Yeah, and every once in a while you get in that huddle and you remind him, now listen, guys, it's going to be contested. We know this. It's a physical game, all 100 yards up and into the red zone and end zone. But when you get down here, you've got to come up with contested catches, and he couldn't.
Tremble with the grab. And this one doesn't go far.
Quarterbacks will look for their tight end short in just about any situation. They take away the deeper options. Well, there's their consistent source of positive yardage, the trusty tight end.
So a tough spot now. This is 3rd and 9. Sticking to the air, it's Young. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Carolina! The Panthers make it a 1-score game before halftime. Well, Brock, you know this better than most. Sometimes these dudes can be a quarterback's best friend, finding the tight end in the end zone for 6.
And it really has been that way for decades when you think about it, Kate. From John Mackey to Tony Gonzalez to Travis Kelce. The position can be such a mismatch when you're throwing for the end zone.
Matthew Wright for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Panthers get it back to within 6. So here's the kickoff, Brock. Just 6 points now separating our teams. Antonio Gibson now to return it. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. The Patriots running their offense out there. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. Good field position for the Patriots as they get set for 1st and 10. May now from the gun. That's taken in by Henry. And he goes out close to that 45-yard line.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball.
Here's 2nd and 5. That's incomplete left side. Trying to find Stephon Diggs. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up.
You know, in the NFL, offensive-minded teams will call it a perfect Friday. They don't want the ball to hit the ground once. And especially on these short to intermediate throws, you got to count on those being efficient and effective.
May now to throw on 3rd. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up. Looking for the back that time. And that leaves them with 4th and 5.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Punt team is on now, and they get this away. Here come the Panthers, taking over late in this first half. With the time remaining, we'll see if they can get this into field goal range before halftime. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's on the move. He calls his own number again. Now we get a timeout by the Panthers. It's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Young looking to throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Marcus Jones ranging over for the stop. And the Patriots in the nickel for this 3rd down call. Young working from the gun. Throw complete to Thielen. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs. Now the Panthers decide to spend their 3rd and final timeout. And that's all they've got for what little remains of this half. From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Young. Nowhere to go with it, so he just throws it away. So after the incompletion, here comes the 2nd down call. Young to throw it. Passing struggles, bleeding over from that last play. He's forced to get rid of this one.
Boy, offenses that connect in this intermediate zone are so effective. Getting a completion in that area, it not just sparks your offense, but it just turns that aggressive meter way up. They just couldn't quite find the connection.
Throw on 3rd down. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on 3rd down? Well, we chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
This is right now, on for the punt. Marcus Jones, an all-pro, out to receive it. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. So no return on that punt. And hardly any time remaining for them in this game. This drive starts with barely any time left. 13 seconds in the half. They'll turn to the ground game and just run this clock out. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. Halfway there on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. We've arrived at halftime with the Patriots in front after 2 here in Foxborough. Now down the coast we go to Orlando, Florida in our studio there. Jonathan Coachman waiting by with the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. Back to you and Brock in a bit. But first, time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. These two teams heading out of the tunnel, and we're ready to get back to it. For the call of the second half, here is the great Kate T. Scott. Kate?
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the second half. Right, ready to send this one away. This one's fielded at the 40-yard line. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The New England offense with the football. They get it first here in the second half. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll run here from the gun. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
From the gun, it's May. He'll get this to Henry. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Sure seems like he knew exactly what he wanted, and he got it, going right where he wanted to with the ball off the snap.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. Lone back gets the handoff. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
No frills, nothing fancy. That was just a good old offensive line dominated in the trenches. And that sprung him to get to the 2nd level and beyond.
First and 10 now from the 30. On play action, here's May. Heaves this one for the back of the end zone. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete.
Boy, take a look at that. Look at him locking down his area of the end zone. They could bring it in close enough to take shots, but there are no easy touchdowns.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down. They'll run it from the gun. And the hit stops him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
May now on 3rd down. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Kate, I've seen a 1-step drop. I've seen a 3, a 5, a 7. Some of the boots and play actions get more depth, but a 20-step drop? That's not going to cut it, except for this defense that just adds a whole bunch of negative yards to that play.
The Patriots have their punting unit out. And he wants to hit his 2nd effort just as well as he hit his 1st. This is away, and once again, he's caught all of it. Now, this is a beauty of a kick. It's headed out of bounds, no chance at a return or a touchback. They're going to mark it out at the 6. The Panthers get going again once more on offense. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Young on the play action. Complete to Tremble. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Out of the shotgun, a give to Hubbard. His push straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. That was Harold Landry making the tackle. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
Shotgun snap now to Young. Connection made to Tremble. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Back to throw. Here's Young. He's got him. That's McMillan. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the two defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
2nd and 3 now. Now it's Young. Thielen's got it. Complete. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Here's a give to Hubbard. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2. Eight yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Rush coming for Young. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. Young throwing here. Escapes the pocket. Oh, he's going to run for it. And he slides down with enough to pick up that 1st. Give him 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
You know, these are the type of plays that really get an offense going. This is a chance for a QB to inspire the guys around him. Calling his own number, carrying his teammates to a 1st down on that big run. That inflates an offense, and it can suck the wind out of that defense.
Up the middle, Hubbard. And he's going to manage a lone yard on that drive up the gut. Tracked down by Robert Spillane. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Counterplay, Hubbard. And defenders are there to get him at the line. Tracked down by Robert Spillane. No gain here after a gain of only 1, and now they'll face 3rd and 9.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just times you got to run in the darkness. And when linebackers fill that hole like that right in the middle of the field, he ran right into the darkness and the pain of that linebacker.
On 3rd down, it's Young. He's on the move. He's running for it. And he hits the deck after setting him up with first and goal. They get 28 out of that play. And now they have a first and goal.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. Here's Hubbard on the give. Broke through the tackle, and he's going to advance them down to the 4-yard line.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
Still chances to get these final 4 yards. It's second and goal. From the pistol, it's Young. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So they'll be left with third and goal. A close game is going to stay close, Brock, so long as plays like that are being made in big situations.
Yeah, in these tight games, you got to have your defense making plays just like that in the red zone. Here we got a defender in particular coming through with a big hit to keep points off the board.
Looking touchdown, but can't connect. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And that brings up fourth and goal. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact. Well, that's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. On the return, here's Gibson. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Patriots and this running back headed back out for a new series. And as some running lanes have closed, he's just found some new ones. Continuing to hit this defense, more good numbers well into this second half. First and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, here's May. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Demario Douglas, the intended target. And now they face second down. When we look back at this one, Brock, it is going to be defensive highlight after defensive highlight. And there again, the examples, they just keep coming.
The physical play has been the trademark. Really, from the first snap through this second half, there have not been many just uncontested, clean, efficient plays. Every effort's been answered, and that's why that scoreboard's not been lit up.
Only 2 yards on the play, and it brings up 3rd and 8. Three-quarters in the books from this one. It's the Patriots with it, currently with a not quite so comfortable lead to start the 4th. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. May now. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They get 22 on that one. And the Patriots will have a first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he's tackled for a short gain. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on first down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Another carry for him. He's out in the clear. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one goes for 25 yards. And that's a New England first down.
You know I love that, Kate, but you know who loved it even more? The late, great John Madden himself, the former lineman. He would have loved watching the student body get right out in front of that thing, those blockers just knocking people off the ball, and let him clear the way so that running back could show off his speed.
And he's able to get this down to the 13.
Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at them. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them and the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
Running for the marker on 2nd. And he'll pick up a little down to the 12-yard line. Just 2 yards there on the carry. They're going to need another 2 now on 3rd down. May now from the gun. Complete beyond the marker. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
All set up for an insurance score here. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run in with Stevenson. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Kate, I knew it at the time. I think everybody did. We knew the Legion of Boom was special, right? That entire secondary, but their safety's ability, Earl and Cam, to come downhill, to make those tackles behind the line of scrimmage as he just did. Yeah, man, you appreciate great safety play like that.
Here's May. And he scores. It's a New England touchdown. The Patriots make it a 9-point advantage. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defending him so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would, and it's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
Romo on to try the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Patriots make it a 10-point ball game. Here's Romo to handle the kickoff. Dowdle now to return it. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Panthers set to take the field. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw in their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Tight end going in motion here. Play action now. Young. That pass complete to McMillan. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right like that.
Here's Young on 1st and 10. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
That is normally a gimme for this offense, these short throws. But the defense, well, they had just enough influence on that play to force the incompletion.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Defense shows blitz. Young throwing the out route complete. And he's going to be brought down at the 42.
There's no route on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
Offense in the hurry up here. Here he is to throw on 3rd and 2. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Hit arrived as the ball did to break things up. And it's 4th and short. We'll see if they go for it. They haven't found it easy to score in this one, Brock, and physicality just like that, a big reason why.
And it usually is, Kate. I love defensive coordinators when they say, hey, it's not just what you see, it's what you hear. And you could hear the physicality of that knocking the ball loose.
And he'll get them enough for a first down.
That is some old school brutality. An offense close to a first down, a defense that knows there's a run headed right its way. In a battle of wills, the offense gets it done.
Offense up to the line fast. Young on 1st and 10. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. They'll get 18 yards there. And it'll give the Panthers a first down.
You want to become a quarterback's best friend, do that. Turn a short little gain, a short little pass into some yards after catch, and that quarterback will find you again.
To the air on 1st down. Young. Short pass brought in. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Working quickly here. Second and 6 now. Forced out to his right. He's on the move. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. Give him 13 on that play. And that'll be good for a Carolina first.
Well, I can tell you what, that was the goal from the moment he took off. Kept his eyes locked on the chains and made sure he set them up with a new set of downs. Well done.
We've reached the 2-minute warning in Foxborough. Panthers gotta score in a hurry. Young working from the gun. Hauled in left side. And he'll go down here at the 16. Panthers moving quickly, trying to get set at the line. Catch made by Chuba Hubbard. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. Now we get a timeout by the Panthers. It's their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that first. Out of the gun, Young. Touchdown, Carolina! All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
And now for the point after, and crucially to bring things within a field goal. And he connects there, so now another kick from him. A field goal would tie this game in the fourth. So with less than a minute and a half to play, they must recover this onside effort. And no luck, the Patriots are there to recover. Ooh, can't get it back on the onside kick. Can still get a final chance with a quick 3-and-out, though, albeit not with a lot of time for them left to work with.
Yeah, Kate, unless they can force a miracle turnover, and we've seen that before, a 3-and-out is really the only avenue remaining. Defense, go buckle it up.
The Patriots back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. Good field position for the Patriots as they get set for 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. And he won't get anything there. Several defenders nearby to hold him up. Second and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Back-to-back carries here. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. The defense takes its 3rd and final timeout. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call is going to be on 3rd down. Here he is to throw. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he slides down with enough to pick up that first. That play goes for 19 and a new set of downs.
Well, I can promise you, that was the goal from the moment he took off. He kept his eyes locked on the chains. And it's almost like he had a spidey sense. He knew exactly where to get in order to move the sticks and get that critical 1st down.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on 1st down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
A kneel down here, and they can start to celebrate this win. So as they've done so many times before, Brock, the Patriots take the win here at Gillette Stadium. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And, Kate, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game. It's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.
So for my partner Brock Heward and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. The Patriots emerge as winners, as with that, we'll sign off from New England.